Okay, so mount escapes, right, for the last day. So I want to talk specifically about high mount. So obviously, if everyone's in high mount, the first obvious one would be trying to get your elbows on the inside. So this should be a review for almost everyone, right? Frame, right? I won't be able to just get my elbows on the inside and just frame on the hip, but I want to pinch my elbows in a little bit, frame on the hip, start walking back. Once I get my elbows on the inside, then I can start doing my standard elbow knee escape. Getting down. One more time. This will be a review. I want you guys to just do like 2 each. So framing, keep your elbows in, start walking your shoulders until your elbows can go on the inside position. Then you can start tilting. If their leg is there, you can start dragging out. You can either scoop it or you can drag it over, pushing that knee through, switching your hips, underhook, and then blocking that front face. So let's start with that one first. Should be a review, and then we'll go from there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, his feet are pinched, his hands are posted, right? So if his feet are really, really pinched, it's going to be real hard for me to walk my shoulders up because my hips are pinned here. So we have 2 options when we're doing this one. The first one is going to be, we're going to find his armpits. I want to push him real hard and bridge above my body. And then for this one, your hips are going to go high, and you're going to pendulum all the way over and then come up. So this works really well when your hips are real high and his foot gets trapped underneath your, kind of like on this part here, right? So nice and tight. You should obviously try to frame and create a little bit of space. But if we can't do that and we're stuck here, first one's going to be armpits. We're going to bridge and push him way above us like this. Now I can't just pendulum low because his legs are going to get in the way. I need to pendulum high and going across to create my space and a nice pendulum. So one more time. Seems simple, but it's real nice. So armpits, bridging, getting him way above you. I need to get him above because if he has all his weights on me and then I try to pendulum, not much is going to happen, right? So really high here. Then my hips go up, walking. It might take a couple times in order for you to come all the way up, right? You might have to do like 1, 2, 3, and then go. Okay, any questions?
Do you worry about the arm bar?
So if you put, that's why you have to push him high enough. So if here, if he's on high mount and I just stay right here, that's going to be an issue. But I just go and I start pendulum, then it's okay. So it's not one of the things where you can push, bridge them over, and then go. You have to just go all at one time. Okay? 1, 2, 3. The same thing. But if Arda has a good base, right, and you'll know it by bridging him up, and when you go, it just doesn't feel like he's gonna go. So same thing, you're still gonna go hands on the armpits, and you're gonna bridge them really, really high up, right? That doesn't change. The only thing that changes is you're going to bend at your hips because I want to get my feet into his armpits, right? This one depends on whether you are flexible enough or not, right? So you're going to go high up, you're going to bring your feet in. Because he's so high up, I'm really mobile with my legs. If I only bring him here, there's no way I can get my feet into his armpit. So I need to go real high here. And then I'm going to choose a side just to tilt my head, get my feet in, and start going over that shoulder. And either I can just go to like Ashi position, or I can just come up. So this is one of those ones where you just got to commit to it. So you're pushing them up. You can tilt your head if it's easier for you to come up, and then bring your legs up. And you're going over that side. And we just end up like in this position where you can just go up to your knees. You can technical stand up, or you can go to like your belly down, straight ankle. One more time. So he's high mount. I can't create that space, right? So I go armpits. I'm going to bridge them real high. The higher it is, the better it's going to be. And it's better to, instead of just going straight up like this, tilting your head to create a little bit of space. And that's the side that I'm going to go on. Feet. And I'm going right over that shoulder. can go for the side of the body. But the problem is that if you don't have the armpits, you won't have enough push to go up, right? Because you go on the side of the body, he starts sprawling in your face. He's not really going to go that much up. It's kind of like if his arms go straight up like this, like a pencil, which it shouldn't, then it's hard for him to push above your head. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right. It's always better to either control the head, have that nice low base, and pinching. Because if you're upright like this, now I don't really have much connection with his head, and I'm not really stopping his elbows from either, pushing, and he starts walking up his shoulders, right? So that's a problem. So remember, if you're ever in a high mount, all you have to do is take his elbows, unless he's protecting his neck, just pinch his elbows together like this. Then when he tries to walk up, it's not going to happen because there's no frame that he has on my hips. So we're going to show you guys how to beat that part. So if you're ever in a high mount and you're sitting upright and you're not controlling the elbows, you're doing it wrong, right? Because if he's not controlling my arms, go ahead and release it, then it's too much stuff where I can start to grab, pin, whatever. But if he's controlling my arms, I know that he's either going to start gathering up my arms together to go to like S mount, so it's right before he starts to attack. So same thing, pendulum your legs, right? And it doesn't have to be perfect, getting your feet above, just a little bit here, and you could just do a couple through. If he posts his arm, that means you have space. It means his weight shifting to his hand. You can start your elbow knee escape, you can start bringing up, right? So, for example, if we're in this position, and he's grabbing my elbows, right? And let's say I pendulum, but then he posting, I can start still clearing and making space, staking out, going single leg axis or whatever. But if he stays on my elbows, and he's nice and tight, right? It's gonna be real hard if you're protecting, trying to create that frame. So you might have to do a couple to create a little bit of pendulum space to just maneuver him over, okay? But practice controlling your partner by controlling their elbows, trying to have them create space, walk their shoulders up, and then do a little pendulum, posting, just adjust depending on what they're doing. Okay, question? All right, 1, 2, 3.
Does it still work if they're low?
Yes, yes it does. Like if they're low, they're in S mount, if they have both arms, it works really, really well. Okay, go ahead. To think about when someone's in mount, high mount, or even in low mount, doesn't matter. So there's always the option to create your frame and use your hand on the pant to lift, right? Lift and then catch, right? So on this side, it's just easy to catch, lift, and stuff it through. So that's always an option. So now let's do high mount, worst case scenario. So he's attacking this arm, and he has my arm trapped. So it's like, how do you get out of this position? The first thing is your hand. If you can anchor your hand to the back of the collar, that's going to be your best thing. And then rotating your thumb to your left, right? If it's free, your thumb has to go left or downwards. It can't go to the right, because if he has tension and go to the right, okay, he's going to finish. If I go down and he puts tension, there's not really much here. If I have a weak elbow, it might dislocate, but it's fine. So on this side, notice how his weight is on his hands, his left knee and his right knee, which makes his right foot real light. Because if he's sitting upright, then his weight's going to be on his foot. And then I don't have to worry about the arm bar, but his weight's forward. So all you're going to do is you're going to pedal your legs, you're going to lift this and catch. Here. Then you're going to drag and bridge your hips forward, right to there, and then stuff that knee through, and then turn the corner. Your thumb has to stay turned down, because once you come out of that corner like that, right, there's not much of a threat anymore. And even if I'm grabbing the shoulder here, it's fine. I rotate. I'm going to swing. I can grab and cup here if I need to, or just nudge, catch through, stuff it, and then rotate. Nice. You can start coming up. One more time. So he has the arm, and it's trapped. My thumb is going to rotate down. I need to give a little bit of nudge I can to catch. Bridge forward, stuff this knee through, and then turn the corner, and I have my underarm. Because at this point, he's not going to continue to attack my arm. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. He's probably going to square up, so he doesn't get his back taken. Okay. Questions? All right, last one. 1, 2, 3.